In this video, I'll be showing you how to use the RC522 RFID module with Arduino by making a project where if you scan the code and this code is recognized by the Arduino, then we would turn on the green LED. If the code is not recognized by the Arduino, we would turn on the red LED. And so I'll be showing you how to connect up this module, and I'll also be showing you the code it takes to get this module working with Arduino. So without further ado, let's get started. And this now here is the circuit right here, and right here is how all the pins are connected up. So the first pin is SDA pin. This pin would be connected to pin 10. We'll be going to pin 10 right here. And then we have the SCK pin, which is right here. This pin would be connected to pin 13 right here. And then the MOSI pin, which is right here, will be connected to pin 11 on the Arduino. Then we have the MISO pin, which is right here, and that pin would be connected to pin 12 on the Arduino. Then we have the G&D pin right here on the module, and it would be connected to G&D on the Arduino. Then we have the RST pin, and this pin would be connected to pin 9 on the Arduino. Then we have the 3.3V pin on the module, and this pin would be connected to the 3.3V pin on the Arduino. This is important to note that you must connect this to the 3.3V pin on the Arduino, because this module can only take 3.3 volts, no higher than that. So you can't connect it to the 5V pin on the Arduino, or else you will break the module. Okay, so basically that is how you connect up this circuit. So now we'll go ahead and we will go to the next circuit here. This circuit is basically connecting up the LEDs. This is the same thing. You would just add this circuit to the circuit that we just explained. That's just a circuit of how to connect up the module to the Arduino. This is the circuit on how we can connect up the LEDs. So basically we connect both of these LEDs to ground, of course, and then we go ahead and connect up the green LED to pin 8 and the red LED to pin 9. Both of these LEDs will be connected also with a 330 ohm resistor. These three resistors can be anywhere between 200 ohms to 470 ohms. Basically, that is how you connect up the LEDs. So now you can basically go ahead and connect up both these circuits at the same time right here. Okay, so now here is the code right here. First thing we do is to go ahead and find two libraries. We have the SBI library. This is for the I2C communication, because this module uses I2C communication, so we have to have this library. This library comes pre-installed with the Arduino IDE, so you don't have to install this one, but this library we do. This library right here, the MFRC522, helps us so that we can use this module with the Arduino, and this module does not come pre-installed, so all we have to do is we have to go to the library manager right here on the Arduino IDE, go and click that, and go ahead and type in the name right here. This is the name you need to type it in, and then right here, this is it here, and we see the MFRC522 library, and it's going to be by the GitHub community right here. Now, I already installed it, so I have an option to remove it, but in general, it's going to look like this right here, where you have the install button. You just go ahead and click it. You can install the newest version, doesn't really matter, and you will be all set to go with that, okay? And so then we'll go ahead and define some pins, or put some pin numbers into variables so that our code is more readable. We do pin 10, we put that in the SS_pin variable, and then the number 9 will be put into the RST_pin variable. Then we have 8 will be put into the green LED variable. Pin 7 will be put into the red LED variable. So then we go ahead and set up an array of UIDs that we have that maybe possibly that the Arduino may recognize. Now these UIDs are made up, but the first one right here is actually my UID. I'll be showing you how you can get this unique UID, because each card and each key fob has their own unique ID. So this one is my unique UID for this card, and I don't have the UID to this, so that the LED would turn, and the red LED will turn on when I scan this, and the green LED will turn on when I scan this one. So all these other ones are just fake ones, just to give you an example that you can put many as you want in here. Just this number right here has to fit with these slots. So basically we have 4 slots, so we have 4 spaces in this array. If you have more in this array than 4 slots, then it will not work. And then we have the LED state. This is a boolean, and by default it's false. This helps us to tell if the green LED should be turned on or the red LED should be turned on. Alright, so then we go ahead and we set up our module by calling the library and then naming our module, and we give it the pins that it's connected to. Now in this case, we're just giving it 2 pins, pin 10 and pin 9, because we put them into these variables right here. Where did all the other pins go? Because obviously we connected other pins. Other pins are meant for the I2C communication, and the SPI library deal with that all by itself. So then we go into the void setup, and we'll go ahead and define all LEDs. They're both going to be outputs, and then we can go ahead and start up serial mode, and then we go ahead and do SPI, which is just basically starting the I2C communication, and then we go ahead and start up also the module as well, saying that it's ready to start scanning cards. After that, we go ahead and do serial.print ln scan your FCID card, and so this basically tells us that we are ready to scan the cards after all of this is configured. And so then we can go ahead and we go into the void loop, and this is when we're going to start doing all of our actions here. By default, we have 2 things right here. This is one of the most important points of the code as well. It's decided when we know that a card is readable. Okay, so basically what we have here is the first one. This line of code is basically if there's a new card present, then we need to continue on our code. But if there is not a card present, then we return. Basically, return means we come to the top of the loop, the void loop, and do it all over again. So we will never come down to the rest of the code if there's not a card present. It will just continue doing this over and over again until the card is present. But let's say now there's a card present, then we need to check another thing. If the card is actually able to be successfully read. And so that's what we ask here, is the card readable? And if this is true, then we will continue on our code and doing other things. But if it's not, then we come back up to the void loop and we do this code all over again until finally a card is present and it is readable. Then we will continue on the rest of our code. And so after this, then we go ahead and set up a variable called UID string. This is going to be holding the string, the UID, and a string. Okay, so we're just gonna store it in here into the string. Okay, so now here is this next part here, and this is also an important part here because this is where we read the UID from the card. Now, I have more documentation on how all this works. I will leave down in the link below about all this. I'm not gonna go in detail about it because it is kind of complex, but in general, what this is gonna do is it's gonna give us the UID and put it into this UID string variable right here. After that, then we'll go ahead and do UID string, which is calling this variable, and we're gonna run the to uppercase function on it, which means it's gonna uppercase all the letters in it. And it just makes it so that everything we know, all the letters in this UID is uppercase. As you can see up here, they're all uppercase, so we need them to also match with that. So we do that, and then we go ahead and print the UID out. This is important because maybe you don't know the UID to your card and you want to run this code and figure it out. Then you can just go ahead and run it and not even have it in this array and scan the card. Now the red LED will turn on, not saying that it doesn't recognize it, but the UID will also be printed out so that you can put it in this array, and then the Arduino will then recognize this UID and turn the green LED on whenever you scan that specific card. So that's why we do this right here. So now what we can go ahead and do is we can go ahead and go through the UID list right here, which is up here, UID list, and we're going to see if one of these UIDs matches with the UID we have right now that is being stored in UID string right here. So what we do is just going to go ahead and set up a for loop, and we're just going to make I go to 0, and we're going to continue looping this for loop until I is no longer less than 4. So this is important to change depending on how many UIDs you have in here. All right, and then every single time we loop this for loop, we of course increment I. And so this makes it so that we go to the first slot of the UID list, and then we go to the second slot next time we loop through the for loop, and we go to the next one and the next one, and we check each UID and see if it's equal to it. And that's what we do right here with the if statement. We do UID I, which is up here. We're incrementing I every single time we loop in the for loop, and we're going to see if that UID in that certain slot is equal to the UID string. If it is, then we will come into this if statement and make LED state equal to true. That means we're going to turn on the green LED, and then we're just going to immediately go ahead and break out of this for loop. We're not even gonna finish because we know there's already a UID that matches, and most likely there's not going to be another UID matching, and so we're going to go ahead and go out and turn on the green LED. But if this doesn't match, then every single time it doesn't match, we'll come in here and say LED state is false, which means we're going to turn on the red LED. So at first, maybe you scan the code, and as it's going through this array, and although this UID is in there, in this array, but it hasn't gotten to it yet, the LED state variable will be set to false until it is finally recognized and it was set to true and break out. But if we go through all of these UIDs in this array and none of them matches with UID string, then eventually the for loop will just end. And the last time we updated the LED state was false. So then we will come into this out and turn on the red LED, which we do here. So first we do if LED state, basically meaning if the LED state is true, then come to this statement, and that means we're going to turn on the green LED. So we just do digital write green LED, which is pin 10, and we turn it high. Then we wait a second right here. So we give it a second just to turn on the LED, let you see it, and then we turn it low, and then we continue on our dandy way. But if this is not true and it's false, then we want to turn on the red LED. And so that's what we do. We go into this else statement, we do digital write red LED, and then we say it's high. We turn high for 1 second, and then we turn it back low and continue going on and doing this code over and over again. So basically that is the code. And so now we can go ahead and see this project in action. Okay, so now here is the project, and as you can see, we have our LEDs here, and this is the code right here that I have, as you can see. And so basically all I have to do is just scan it right here, and the green LED turns on, as you can see. So now if we scan this, what's this key fob is not in the array that the Arduino is looking at all the UIDs to see if they match. So this one should turn on the red LED, which it does right here. And so basically that is the project. So if you like this video, consider giving this video a like. Also comment down below if you have any questions, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you everyone, have a good day, bye.